Hello and welcome back to Sepp and Shelley's DIY, and today I have got another coffee table for you. This time we're going to turn it into a bench to use in the hallway. If you haven't been to our channel before, then subscribe and press that like button. We're going to start with drilling holes in the tabletop. We need 20mm holes for these wooden poles that are going in. They're going to be cut down to 40 centimetres. I've got 7 of these, and then they will be glued with Woodlime into the holes and going all around the table with these pieces of wood. So we're going to have all these wood sticking out, and then these will be the arm and the backrest will be then in this height that are going on here like this. Sepp's made a template of what we're more or less going to make. He's measured the distances apart, how far each pole is apart from each other, and now we've got to drill the holes in the table. He's measured on the table already, he's marked where all the holes are going to go. So, and to make the holes, we've got to drill the holes at an angle. Now if you're making this table yourself, you want to copy us, then I wouldn't drill the holes at an angle. I'd drill them straight in at 90 degrees. We're going to drill at an angle. And Sepp's made this template where the Forstner bit is held into position so that we can drill in the hole, which means then the hole is at a light angle and exactly the angle that we need to drill into the wood with. He's marked out where we're going to drill all around the wood. As you can see these two quite well. They're about 9.5 centimetres apart. And then he places his template on the table. He's got a line to line up exactly, one line to another line. Lines it up, puts it on, and now when we drill into this hole with the Forstner bit in the drill, we will get the exact angle that we want. Now we're going to use the drill and the Forstner bit and drill into the hole. Here's a close-up of the holes. They're 2 centimetres in diameter and they're about 2 centimetres deep. These are the 2 armrests that have also got to have the holes drilled in by the Forstner bit. And I think in the film you can just about make out the Sepp's markings. They're also the same, they're 9.5 centimetres apart, so that then they match to the ones on the table. Here's the template he's going to use, and because if you put the wood on it doesn't quite fit up to the hole, he's got to put in an extra piece of wood first. The wood goes on top, and then he's got the other wood going on top of that, and we can just slide it through and make each hole as we need to. We finished drilling the arms, and now we've got the backrest of the table. To drill on the backrest, we've got to drill the hole straight in. They don't have to be drilled in at an angle. We've marked the wood. It's got to be drilled in on the thin side because we're having the wider bit as the backrest. So we've had to measure, mark the middle of the hole so that we can drill our holes. And this time we're going to drill our holes. You can do this with an ordinary drill, with the Forstner bit in it, but this time we've got a standing drill that we're going to use, just makes it easier for us. So this is the backrest, and here are the holes that we drilled in straight. So I'm now going to sand the top of the table. That will eventually be the seating. I'm going to use an Orbital sander. I've got a grip paper 8 in there. We'll then use 120. and then 180. And I wish I could turn the camera around so you could see Mr. Sepp is pulling his tongue out at me. I've got my pole now, and I'm going to show you how I sawed the pieces of wood down so that we've got them to the right size to use on the table. Mr. Sepp's made a contraction so that we get exactly the right length, and 2 slits here. And Mr. Sepp made me do it all by hand instead of using his tabletop saw. And with the grit paper 80, I'm just going to go round the edge. Top's nice and smooth now. Now we're ready to put in our pieces of wood, our round pieces of wood. We're going to use some lime to glue them into place and a hammer to hammer them on. Both the arms are now glued in, and we've just placed at the moment the armrests on top, and as you can see we've rounded the edge off just with the saw. We've just sawed round. Now we're going to use a woodworking router and take off the sides around here so it gives it a nice shape on both sides. We've got to take the arms back off, and then Sepp's got his woodworking router and he'll show you how he does it. First of all, we're going to sand down the curve. Mr. Sepp's got his router in his hand and he's going to go around all the edges, taking a little bit of wood off. And here's the backrest, and we've done exactly the same. We've cut off just round the one corner this time. The other corner we're going to leave is going to come on like on the back of the seating like this. And then we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to go around the edge with the router. Finished with the router, and now Mr. Sepp's got his Orbital sander and he's going to go over all the edges again with his sander. Right, the arm's ready, and now we're going to put some woodlime in every hole. We're then going to place it on top, try and line all the wooden poles up with it. Then we're going to press it together so that it's glued on nice and tight. Both armrests are done. We're now going to get on and do the back. Now we're going to glue these pieces of wood into the backrest. Okay, we've glued them into place. We put some wood lime in. We knock them into place using the hammer and this piece of wood to make sure they don't go in too deep. So each one's exactly the same. If you want to see how we finish this bench, then you'll have to tune in 2 weeks' time, where we'll show you part 2 of how we upholster, how we cut the feet down, and how we oil the bench to make it look perfect. Till next time, bye bye.
Press the like button.